Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Toonkind FPS. This is a big one. We got a lot of people here.
Yeah.
A lot of characters anyway. Hi, my name is Whis. I am playing three people today. Oh gosh. Oh boy.
Warm up those vocals.
Yeah. And joining me are the very lovely. Introduce yourself, please.
I think seeing as I'm at the top, I'll go first. Hi everyone, I'm Vwild, and I will be playing two characters. One who's just here having a wonderful time, the other one who's just, well, gestures at Monkey. But this should be good! Woohoo!
Yeah. And I'm Winona. Today I'll be playing a Scribbles Scrambles, the only person playing one character.
And what a character! What a character indeed.
We love Scribbles.
Well,
It's great.
technically two, but we'll get to that.
Yes. Oh dear. So, timeline-wise, this takes place after the Toons on a Mission game. Though probably still before the Eye of the Storm, I imagine.
Yeah, Lynn's definitely gonna, there are things that are gonna be happening after Eye of the Storm that we're not gonna get into yet. Wow! Some happening there. It's gonna be great. We love Starry and Morsky so very much, but also
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where this slots in between, in that nice little gap in between those two things.
This is where we got out of.
Yep. So we have a little bit of a prologue, I believe. Is that right, Winona?
A little bit of a prologue. Yeah. We say, even though it takes place around that time, we're gonna back it up a little bit more to set the first scene. Right in the morning. Morning.
3 a.m.
The way 3 a.m. of the way things go. And we're in, we set the first scene around that time. Everyone's to sleep in Scribbles' apartment. Tonight it's just him, and Selli for that night. Marigold is sleeping elsewhere, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But Scribbles is just sleeping in his bed when he feels something in his hammer space, which causes him to jolt away. I'm gonna see how bad he reacts to this.
Yes. 3 a.m. wake-up calls of mental screaming, an ice knife to the chest, and a feeling of utter terror. That is always a fun reaction to have.
Exactly.
God.
Oh!
Oh,
So this is how that is in that one.
Off to a great start, I see.
I see. You may want to Selli may want to make a perception check at advantage as Scribbles just burst out a scream as you hear a giant tumble out of his bedroom.
Oh dear. All right. Perception. Okay.
Well, seeing as Selli is also one of the people who has the business card and doesn't have the business card.
She doesn't have one.
Doesn't.
But has the.
Yeah.
Yep.
At advantage, she gets a 21. So I think she's just going to be like... She's not very used to the sounds of Toontown yet as it is, but screaming she's not used to at all. She doesn't like that. She's awake immediately. She's just out of the... She's sleeping in the library. She's out of the library and sort of throws open Scribbles' room. What's wrong?
You see, she sees Scribbles on the floor, just a mess. Hair in mixed of swirls and spikes as he's clutching onto as he pulled out the business card. He is visibly shaking. He is not concentrating on Selli. He probably has not even recognized that she is in the room yet. As I need to make a con save. Let's see how this goes.
Which there will also be the fun fact that the business card, which is normally a warm sort of sensation, is now ice cold and grey in the way that you don't think paper could possibly go.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many emotions in like happening right now. He even just throws up. He's just like,
Oh, jeez.
Oh boy!
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus. Oh,
Yeah, say that was the con say. I was just like, well, this is how it's go.
well, fair enough. Selli is immediately going to run over his side and just casting like cure wounds, like straight up. Like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. One. What am I doing? D8 plus 5. 9. Just like, oh dear. I don't know what's going on, but healing magic, go.
The super as he like jolts as he sees he's like, Selli, Celeste.
Are you all right? What happened?
No. He looks at the business card. I heard a scream. It went cold. Something's wrong. Something is very, very wrong. They
With the business card. And she's gonna lean over and look at it. That's the Stagehand business card. What did you have? I don't understand.
Rye may be in danger. He probably is in danger. He sort of stands up. He like gets off the floor immediately and starts getting him stuff. I'm not asking you to go with me, Selli, but I at least need to go to make sure that he's all right. Could be life or death.
Do you want to roll an insight? Possibly at disadvantage because he's in a bit of a
Yeah,
way, but try it anyway.
We'll see how this goes. Let's see. What is your insight? Okay. Okay, now you get the good rolls. Okay. It's
Okay.
above a 10. That's something.
That's above a 10. So Selli doesn't have any visual representations of her mood like, say, Rye or Scribbles does. But just glancing at her, she's stiff and she hasn't gone pale, but kind of has that vibe. And she shakes her head immediately. I'm going. If it's dangerous, I'm not letting you go alone. Absolutely not.
Scribbles like stops for a second and looks at her, sort of like debating for a moment, but then gives like a more confident and like determined nod and look at her. He's like, "All right, get your stuff. We need to leave as soon as possible."
And she's gonna nod and run back to the library because she's in her nightdress, so she's gonna go and put some clothes on.
Yeah, Scribbles is gonna. He's in his PJs too, so.
Yep. It's all right.
Yeah.
Scribbles and Selli off to war. Good.
Yeah. So after they get everything ready and stuff, and like they're just about to go out the door, Scribbles feels another vibration from his pocket. However, this is accompanied with sound. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do.
Can I just say, I imagine like this dramatic background music suiting up for war, rising to a crescendo as they're at the door, and then it breaks as that happens.
Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, the soundtrack's getting really into it, and then
Hello, soundtrack breaker.
Oh,
How we missed you.
amazing.
Scribbles instantly recognizes that ringtone and picks it up. He's like, Barry, you have the most impeccable timing ever. And you hear another voice is like, okay, Scribbles, you're going to hate me. And Scribbles is like, will I now? Barry's like, yeah, I need you to stop right where you are, go back to bed, and wait a couple weeks. Like, specifically at insert don't know what the exact date it is, but he's gonna insert date here. Which is a couple weeks of where the present is. And Scribbles pauses, glares at the phone, and he's just like, Barry, I've known you since I was a child, but this is the first time ever I wanted to disobey you. This is yes, Scrambles, I know. Well, not exactly I know, but I know the situation may seem dire. You're not wrong. Your actions so far have been completely justified. However, Plot has other plans. You don't want to mess up the plot. And and Scribbles takes a deep breath, releases it. He's like, "Oh, I sort of want to do that plot. I sort of want to mess up the plot right now. I really want to mess it up the plot." He's like, "All right, if you're not gonna do it for me, do it for her." And that makes Scribbles freeze.
I'm actually going to roll a perception to see whether or not Selli's hearing any of this. Like any of Barry's side.
Yeah.
Nope. That's a 7. She can only hear Scribble's side of the conversation. She's got no idea.
And what a great conversation this is.
Mm-hmm.
And Scribble, again, freezes. Puts the phone up to his nose. He's not, like, glaring at it anymore. It's like, you better be damn... what's it? Oh, 1 second, please.
Oh my god, what a hell of a timing.
Uh-huh. Oh, dear, oh dear.
Also, I'm just cackling over, do it for the plot, because now I'm just like, hey, Lynn. Hey, Lynn.
Yeah. Well, at this point in the day, everything was dreadful. So
sorry about that. I didn't expect the maintenance guy to come over so quickly. Nice. Everything should be good now. But anyways,
hooray.
To get back to the scene, Scribbles gets the phone up to his ears. He's not glaring at it anymore. It's like, all right. Then I'm gonna make a roll for myself. He then pauses, and then looks like he then sort of pauses in realization of something, and then he sort of like does a little bit angrier face. He's like, "Oh, Barry, you little son of a..." Bye, Scrambles, and the phone clicks off.
Right.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much.
He then turns to Selli. He's like, fine is a relative term, but we need to wait. You're gonna have to trust me on this.
She starts fidgeting, and she really doesn't look like she doesn't understand quite clearly. But I thought you said that things were dire.
I thought so too. They probably maybe still are, but Barry has never been wrong in my lifetime. And if he says the plot needs us at a specific time, him being a divination wizard, I trust his judgment.
And she's just going to go over to the window and look out of it. And she seems really upset. I hope so.
Scribbles goes over to her. Oh, trust me, I'm not happy with this either. He's gonna give hell the next time I see him, but he then, like, gently, like, goes over to hold her hand. We'll just have to wait.
She doesn't say anything in response to that. She just nods. But I feel as though they probably aren't going to be getting any more sleep somehow.
No. Yeah, the Scribbles does have an idea. When I was a kid, if on rough nights like this, or at least as rough as we can get, I usually watch a little bit of TV to help myself fall back asleep. Do you wanna watch TV with me?
She's gonna take a second as she's processing that because they don't really have TVs in Johto. So she turns, yeah, I think I'd like that.
Hey, Scribbles nods, and I can sort of see them like getting on the couch, having blankets underneath them. The TV's on soft. It's like on like a very low volume as they watch it for the rest of the night.
Oh, they're so cute.
Yes.
We love the cute. There's smoke rising in the distance, but they don't see any of that. Right now it's just watching like cartoons or something. It's safe.
Trying really hard not to worry.
Yeah. Trying very hard not to worry.
Oh, boy. And then smash cut, scene change. Woohoo! Oh dear. To the present we go. Whoosh.
Present day.
And the present day is the same day as another FPS. Gosh, everything's happening at the same time. Oh boy.
Everything, in Lynn's words, everything picking happens so much.
Everything pecking happens so much. Because this is the
Indeed.
same day as the FPS who close their eyes but yet still can see, which was between me and Babel a couple of days ago. Stagehands, yay! And so this new scene, it's the present day, it's opening on Network. And we've got little Haddy, little Hadrian Stagehand opening the door. Well, sort of, I imagine that Network's going to just let him in because she knows Haddy quite well now.
Yes. The
And-
door is sometimes hard to open for her because still adjusting, but it opens well today.
Oh, good.
She's very proud about that. She's doing good with this new door.
And,
You don't want to know how many times she's practiced.
oh, bless her cotton socks.
Aw.
She doesn't have socks. Curtains. Bless her cotton curtains. So Hattie's sort of pushing the door open, and Network is welcome to roll an insight on him if she would like.
Yes, she would. Yes, she would. I'm just going to make sure that I've got her sheet up as well because sometimes this thing's a picnic. There we go. Network baby, Your Honor. I have named different parts of her sheet, different things, because like she's got the ambulata form, and so I've got, and I just find that incredibly amusing that I've just named the original baby, Your Honor. That is an 18.
Brilliant. So he's obviously agitated. There's something on his mind, and like just from the way that he's buzzing his wings, he's paying particular attention to where he's going, and he's in a bit of a hurry, which he's not normally in a hurry. He's a bit more of an ambling kind of guy because he needs to be able to pay attention to what he's doing. But he pushes the door open, steps inside. All right, Network is pom around. I gotta talk to her about and then he cuts off because there's another knock at the door. Oh, bloody Beck! And he just, without even thinking, turns around, flings the door back open. We don't want any.
A very confused Scribbles with Selli and a little scratch on his shoulder.
He's just
Wait, Vwild, have you seen Scratch? I forget.
Scratch, show me them. I wish to see the baby.
Yes, he's indeed baby. Let me find the baby.
It's that new meme or whatever they're doing of I wish to see the child. I'm just here going, I wish to see the scratch.
He's about the size of a tennis ball on his shoulder, but he's...
So what you're saying is they're yeetable.
You could definitely try!
I mean, gestures at this house.
Mm-hmm. So, for Selli and Scribbles, there is this 3'5" pale blue dragonfly-looking toon standing at the door there, just sort of staring straight ahead, not looking at your face or anything, and you're both taller than him, and he's just thrown open the door. We don't want any.
Want any what? We've come here to see Rye.
And there's just this pause, and he's slowly processing. Oh, right. Sorry. All right. Come in. And he's just going to take a step back and then turn to call into the house. Sneakster, you've got a visitor. And then he's just going to turn around and go into the house. I got to find Pom-Pom. I got to find Pom-Pom. Pom-Pom!
Would Selli and Scribble roll a perception check?
Certainly.
Oh, of course.
Perception or Arcana, if you like.
Arcana's better for him.
They're the same for Selli.
Okay. There is, around you both, as you come in, there is this warm breeze that would be unnatural from indoors. Like, the way it shifts around you both, and the fact that there is a breeze indoors is definitely something. And you can almost feel the magic of it, in a sense. And there's a warm, bright hum of something in the pipes and the walls. And it just goes around you both, goes around Scribble, goes around Scratch. Scratch probably gets nudged a bit more because that is, ooh.
Oh, wait. Can you roll a percentile check for network?
Percentile check. Okay, I shall roll a percentile check. That's a 48.
You can't touch Scratch you can't touch Scratch. Whatever, like, breeze goes right through him. However, Network does recognize a familiar magic within him. It's just like a very small spark.
Ooh.
But it's there.
They're on the shoulder, right? So yeah, the probably reason why like Scratch got a 22 is because the breeze very much is curious, just passes right through, and then like the side of his head is like hit with another blast as Network goes, okay, let's try that again, and just like
they need to make another percentile again.
83.
You say that just barely scratches it. Pun intended. As you say, Scratch like freezes as he's felt something, and Scribble does a shiver too as he's felt that too. And Scratch is like looks around and he knows sign language. He's like, you touched me.
And it is just this very, very curious like hum as it's just like circling around you both. And with your perception earlier, you can see that there's a glowing line on the wall that leads from the foyer into the den, out of sight. And then there's another thread that seems to go, and this is where we're just like gonna cut over to the other person because Selli is also here, and Selli is getting investigated because hello, other person who looks like Rai, little Rai, little. Oh, and Selli is in the house. And there's all of a sudden the hum kind of changes from this curious, excited, and there's just like if Ryan Lynn can hear, there's just a very soft. Oh, network picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's ringing network picked up?
Yeah.
And there's just like this rummaging noise from within like the side office, which Haddy would probably be like coming further into the house.
Yeah.
He can hear Lynn, and the kind of distinguishable noise is the very distinctive noise of Lynn moving a cork board, like her conspiracy board. She's got her conspiracy boards in her room. She's calming herself down. She rolled a 90 out of 100 on the nightmare thing. She's not doing too great with the nightmares, but she's got her boards. She's calm until.
And I think because Haddy called out for Rye was coming down from where he was. He probably was actually not in the side office, but in that den area. So he probably shows up first, and I don't think Scribbles has actually seen him since his redesign. So this little bean comes around the corner. Uncle Haddy, who's Scribbles! He hasn't noticed Selli yet.
Scribbles doesn't react at first because he's still very shocked about something touching Scratch, because that is something that theoretically not possible. But the moment, though he puts that out of his mind for the second as he sees Rai, he's like, "Oh, Rai, is that you? You had a design change."
I did. Look, I got a new coat and everything.
Oh my, you look so great. Say, I love it.
Thanks.
Let's see. It's great to say. Honestly, it's a relief to see you right now. Okay, long story. He takes out the business card. I was very worried.
Oh, yeah, I gave you that, didn't I? Yeah, sorry. It wasn't great, but it's all good now. And I'm actually going to roll him a perception to see whether or not he notices this very pink person standing behind Scribbles. What's your perception, boyo? +5.
I will also say that the business card has gone back to being like this sepia gold, which is slowly brightening back to normal over the weeks that it's been. And hey, that's a 22!
That's a
It
22.
is.
So he's kind of gotten over the, yay, friend, and yeah, look how fancy I look. And then, oh, that's pink. So, and you can just sort of, actually roll a perception. I'll roll one for Selli as well.
Perception or insight? They're technically both the same for me, but
It's kind of both, really, in a way.
fair enough. I only have a +1 for both of those modifiers. Okay, 18.
That's still an 18. I'm going to roll insight for Selli because she knows what this is and the modifier's better. It's still an 11. That's over 10. So you can see Rai notice the person who's with you. And, like, admittedly, you've not spent an awful lot of time with Rai thus far. But you can just see his eye, which is normally blue, fade into grey very, very slowly. Selli? And she's just going to sort of lean around Scribbles a little. Oh, you look so grown up. And you can just sort of tell Rai's a little bit stunned.
Scribbles gives a little sigh because she's meant, Selly's mentioned that like something happened to Rai, but he doesn't know the details. He's just like, yeah, I don't know everything. I will admit, but the moment I felt that on the business card, it's just she knows how to heal, so I'd rather be safe than sorry. At least that was my first instinct, but at the same time, I don't think she would. She's determined to come with me either way.
And Rai is in stunned mode. I don't think he absorbed any of that.
Can I just say, this is all adorable. However, I am just thinking of the monkey in the other room who is being informed by Network. Hi, okay, so you know how we said stranger danger about surfing the Alamos? Yeah, there's an Alamos in the house. Please come dear. Lynn has given Network very much okay, the Alamos family. We're just not gonna let them in. And it's just now Network's going, oh, failed step 1. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm just going to roll a quick perception for Haddy. What's your perception again? Oh, yeah, insane.
Yeah.
Even when he rolls crap, he rolls great because his modifier is insane. So I reckon with a 17, he's on his way to where Pom Pom is in the side office and then stops. And then takes a very deliberate step out of door range. He's like, oh no, okay, I'm not going to get beamed with a door today, all right, and steps back. So he doesn't get smacked by the door when she bursts out.
Yeah. The door, which is unlocked by Network for dramatic effect, is kicked open. There is Lynn stepping out of her office, an axe in hand, just going, all right, who the peck is messing with my boy this time?
Oh, and this is the site you come to. You got Haddy just to one side of the side office door, Rai at the sort of the edge of the foyer, like in this sort of stunned stupor, and then you've got these two people standing just inside the door, one of which you have not met and the other one you've seen once before.
She doesn't need any more information. She's like, all right, Haddy, grab Rye. I'm gonna do a violence. You're losing your kneecap.
Hey! No! Is he is she going for him? This is an important question.
She is pointing, and she is now making like a beeline. She has got axe in hand. She is waving. There is Grawlix in the air. She's ready to.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
All right. I'm making wisdom. Let's see. What is your wisdom, my wonderful darling? All right, that is a 3.
9.
That is a 9.
So the minute you see, the minute you start charging at Scribbles, Scribble does basically reaction as he sees oh boy, someone's trying to attack us, and he points out his hands, pointing to her, like a line comes out, and basically he's cast hold person on you. So she is now wrapped in a coil, a scribbly coil, frozen. Pure panic as he sees oh shoot, someone's coming at us.
And I think
there is press hum from Network of, oh god, this is the other ones attacking as well. Oh no. And there is just Network now starting to have a small howling breeze of no.
And speaking of Scratch on the other hand, sees her coming at him, and he's turned red. He's preparing for a fight now as jagged scribbles. He's a jagged scribbles. He's staring down Lynn.
That's definitely going to be enough to jolt Rye out of the shock of seeing Selli. Wait, whoa, wow, okay, stop. You stop. Mom, stop. Holy peck. And Selli actually jumps. Oh my goodness, he swears now. Okay, stop. Network, calm down. Mom, calm down. Whoa, okay.
Scribbles looks at Rye and, trusting his judgment, puts his finger down, uncasting the spell and freeing Lynn.
When hold person happens, you can't really talk because everything freezes. As the spell comes down, there is just a slowly rising pitch of Grawlix starting back up again, as though someone had hit mute and then bumped up the volume again. And there is it's colourful, there is actual Grawlix. She is very much saying things in giant other languages that you don't want a child picking up. She's learnt a lot of phrases. Haddy will recognise a few of them as the ones that old Tortoise used when he stubbed his toe really bad. This is really bad swearing.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
And Haddy still has no idea what's going on because nobody has informed him about the whole thing. So he's just sitting there going, what? And,
Scribbles is in a similar boat. He knows something bad happened. He just doesn't know what it is or the details.
And Lynn does calm down slightly, but the main thing she does is just okay, my sketching is at level 2, but it's fine. And she just walks over, right? And she just slightly picks you up because you weigh about the same as a bunch of grapes and just deposits you behind her slightly and then just holds out her axe. Not in the but in the no.
Yeah, Scribbles is on edge, but he's not making a forward to try to attack her. He does not want to hurt her if he doesn't have to.
And Rye is just quietly going, what the hell? He's, Mom, this is Scribbles. Scribbles is my friend. He had one of Network's business cards. He was worried. Can you just put the axe down, please?
It's a Scribble, on the wall of love. And she does just glance over, see the thread that is lit up. And she just goes, right, Scribble, right?
Scribble's not. Yes, I'm guessing you're Lynn?
Yes. Little Lynn Stagehand, PI, at your service. And you're a friend of Rise? That's okay.
Yeah, and technically, he looks over, if he still wants to. I actually no, we can do this later, but Yes, I'm a friend, maybe student. I
Mhm.
recently actually opened a tutoring business.
Picking fantastic. Okay, lovely to know. Wonderful to meet you. Second point of call. What the peck did you do bringing an Alamos in here?
And Selly's just going to sort of shrink down behind Scribbles a little
As
bit.
a Scribble sort of like stands in between her and Selli, sort of protectingly. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I don't know the situation between those two, but I originally I felt the business card. I knew there may be trouble. I know that she's really good with healing. I brought her just in case if you needed any more help.
And Lynn does just like lower the axe in her left hand, and she does just use her right hand to just like rub her face. It is an interesting hand in that it's entirely blue bandages, but she just goes, "Okay, thank you for dropping by and for your for your care. It means a lot that Rai has friends that look out for him. Um, would we all like to sit down and have a cup of tea?"
Scribbles give a little sigh. You know, a cup of tea would be lovely.
All right. If everyone could make their way over to the couch, Rai, if. And she just kind of looks, and then she lets off this hum that several of you don't understand. In fact, the majority of you don't understand, but it is very much just a network of mine. Take care of little Rai of ours. Silly danger, possibly, maybe. Don't know. Do check. Make sure safe. No vanishing. Not for us, thank you. And there is just a hum back of affirmation and almost this like little soft tornado around Rai. It's like, yeah, they're not letting Selly anywhere near him. They're not gonna have a disappearing act again. That's not happening.
Yeah, and you don't need to make a perception check. Even Scratch is still like on edge about you, Lynn. He's definitely died out in color. He's more of a blackish red, but he's still like he's not glaring, but he's just like I got my eyes on you. You know the finger motions.
I love the fact of when Lynn's like doing something with Rai, the second Rai's not looking at her, she is doing it right back at you, Scribble. It's just you're in my home. If you do anything, I'm taking your kneecaps and I'm mounting them on my wall.
Rai is entirely understood that whole network speech, and so he's just sort of sighing a little bit. I'll go put the kettle on, and he just sort of glances over his shoulder at Lynn, and then his gaze sort of does linger on Sally a little bit, and then he hums as he goes up the stairs, just saying, "Network sibling of mine, please don't let her hurt them."
Network promise, little Rai brother of mine. No harm. No harm unprovoked. All safe, all good. Everything fine. Yes, yes, yes.
I suppose that'll have
And he
to
does
do.
get a little hug.
Aww. And he's gonna just head up the stairs to make tea, and he's just really hoping that he doesn't hear shouting and whatnot from downstairs in the meantime.
Oh no, if anything, Lynn would start signing explicitives. She's not going to distress her son.
Yeah, even Scratch is like as they go walk over to the living room area. Scratch like lifts from his shoulder, like right next to Lynn, just like if you try anything, I'm gonna hurt you.
How tall is this little guy?
Scratch is the size of a tennis ball.
Okay, Lynn would never do this actually, but she does just look and go, punchable. Okay, not a threat. That's fine.
In the meantime, you've still got Haddy standing over near the side of us going, "What the heck did I miss?"
Okay, Lynn does just like as all of this is going on, she's still keeping Selly and Scribbles and Scratch now all in her sight, but she does just come over, and there is just like this forehead kiss to Haddy, just like, "Hi, welcome home. Everything's going to peck and shit in a handbasket. There's history. Hi."
hi. Peck. All right. Well, do you need me out of the way for this? I mean, I did need to talk to you about something, but I think it might have to wait.
Yeah. There's a lot of things going on all at once, apparently. I've got to call Uncle Organ back because he left a message earlier. I don't know what about, but we'll sort that out at some stage. But we got you, we got this. All right. Tell you what, why don't you stay in my side office for a bit? And she does lower her voice. If we need it, your magic is very useful. Hopefully it won't come to that, but let's just say we've got some history with one of the people here, and I want to make sure everything stays safe.
Right, all right. Oh, Peck. Sorry. I let them in.
And it's all right. Network's business cards don't normally fail on that front. And Haddy can roll insight if he likes.
Sure. Do 20 plus 4. 12.
I'll say he has advantage because this is his cousin / sibling / yeah. While we say cousins, they are siblings, Your Honor.
Yeah, 19. That's a bit better.
As she's talked to him, she has put like her left hand on his shoulder so that she can get in close and like do the whisper of "I don't trust the situation." He does feel the way her fur is frayed slightly, and he also knows like Lynn. Well, Pom Pom's been around a while and always dealt with problems as they've come up. He does get that undercurrent of fear from all of this, that she's mentally thinking of things that happened before and trying to figure out how to avoid them now. And with how she is, it's very much she's close to a paranoia spiral, but balancing it back.
He's gonna just nod and excuse me. He's just gonna tap his cane against her foot. I'm here if you need me, all right?
Thanks, Haddy. You're the pecking best. All right.
Well, good luck. I'm gonna get a book. And he's gonna go get one of his braille books and go and sit in the side office, but like next to the door. So he's like, all right, I'm on guard duty here. This was my backup as much as it was Network's.
She does just go, mind the paper. Conspiracy board gets messy. There's some on the floor.
All right. I'll not explore. How about that?
Good idea. You'd probably get tangled in string. All right. And she does just, at that, she does like crack almost like this half laugh at that before she goes back into the main room.
Now I get to play significantly fewer characters at once.
Yes. Yes. Imagine that. I help. I'm just gonna... Right. There is like Lynn from her pocket, just like from her hammer space, pulling out like her detective hat, and she just puts it on her head. She's only just wearing like her stagehand coat. You get the feeling that she was probably calming down before all this enough to start taking it off. No, that is firmly back on. As she just comes in, and she does just like sit on her desk, like this really nice big oak desk. There's the nice sofa that like curves near the wall of love, which is probably where you two are. And she's now just sitting on her desk, the axe on her lap, just going, so.
Yes.
Selli is sitting very much at the edge of the couch cushion, like at the literally at the edge, first seat, but also quite close to Scribbles, and she's visibly, like, you don't even have to roll an insight. She's visibly frightened and worried, and she's just like eye contact with Lynn, and that's it. Just not paying attention to anything else. It's like, okay.
Scribbles like reaches over and just like gives a pat on her hand. It's like, it's all right. He sends him to say, he smiles at her, but he actually sends a message spell to her. It's like, it's all right. I won't let them hurt you.
I trust that, but this is not the reception I was expecting. but perhaps I should have.
Scribbles gives a little nod at that and sends one more message. Even so, I'm right here with you.
Thank you,
Can I
Scribbles.
just say, all of this is ironic because there was actually a message that Lynn was going to send to Selli.
She's still welcome to. She doesn't know Lynn can do that.
It's after, like, she is watching, and it is just very much that slightly unnerving because she is dead silent now, and she's just watching you both.
Yeah, well, Scratch is like literally on the desk. He's just still staring up at her.
And she does just, like, after a long moment of making that eye contact with Selli, there is a voice at the back of your head, as there is just, I know why Scribble says you are here. I also remember the last time we met. If this is in any way related to your father, I would politely ask you to get up and leave before things get violent in front of my son.
Oh boy. You probably do want to roll an insight on her now.
Yes. Lynn is handling this as calmly as she can given everything else. She's trying. Unfortunately, it's Lynn.
She's doing very well.
She's doing incredibly well given past experiences. That is an 11.
Okay. Well, unlike Rai, she doesn't have any of those visual tells, so it's a little hard to get a complete read. But she has just tensed up a whole bunch more, and she doesn't respond to the message via the response she can have via message. She does it out loud. I know you don't particularly like me, but I'm not here to cause trouble.
And Lynn kind of just, like, slightly leans back, head tilted back, and you can kind of tell that she is now just, like, eyes slightly narrowed, that you didn't answer the "is this related to your father" bit. She is now just She goes, very well. And Lynn lets it lapse into silence. That nice technique where people do fill silence sometimes. Just, like, doesn't say a word, just watches, just waits to see what happens.
Honestly, Scribbles doesn't know exactly what to say either after that. He more does actions and words, as he sort of like gives like Selli like his hand is still like on her hand, like gently rubbing it, like giving her some comfort that she probably needs right now.
And Selli does definitely go to fill the silence after a little bit. I'm not... I have not left the island because of my father. Scribbles said that there was things missing from our library, and it is my duty as a follower of Umbakant to fill that gap. That's why I'm here. And here, he woke up screaming, and he said Raymond was in danger.
Scribbles like looks at her because like he's never heard the name Raymond before, but he still sort of stays silent for the moment.
Lynn nods at that and she goes, there was a... The best way of putting it, because this is what the newspapers in the local area are picking up on, is there was a arson attack on this place. A old enemy of mine decided to rear their head. the problem has thankfully been resolved, but it did leave its marks. And I would like to say before my son comes back down, that name you just used is not one that he goes by anymore. His name is Rai, and I would ask that you respect that.
She's gonna frown a little bit as she processes that, but then nods. Of course, Rye.
Mm-hmm.
Say, yeah, probably Scribbles picks up on the dead name sort of part. He hasn't. I mean, he's pretty high intelligence normally, so.
Yep.
It's the way Lynn's saying this also isn't unkind. She's firm, she's stern, she is very much fitting into one of the roles that she's mentally ascribed herself in life, but she's being gentler than a moment ago. And she goes, "You said, I didn't quite catch the name, but you're similar to a librarian in a sense? Would you mind explaining that to me again?"
Oh, it likely wasn't on your itinerary when you came to the island, but Unbekant is our local deity, and I am a cleric of his faith. He values knowledge and the written word more than anything else.
Scribble speaks up. So when I noticed that their library had nothing on druided magic, I told her that there was plenty of articles and books on the mainland.
Typical, that guy didn't have anything on druids. But, alright. So, I'll admit it's good that you're learning about that sort of stuff, seeing as our little Rai is a druid. And a pickin' fantastic one at that. You should see him. He's absolutely amazing. And there is just like this grin on Lynn's face as she looks upwards. Because she's on her desk, you can't see up to the mezzanine when you're there. But there is just like that motherly pride on that front of, that's her son. Her son's a druid. He can do magical bullshit. She's so proud of him. She loves him.
Yeah, Scribbles responds to that with a smile. I was like, I agree. He is definitely talented.
Yes,
he
always
you should
was.
see him have that sparrow. He is the best at so many spells.
Yes, I even taught him one. Say last time I met him, I even taught him a new one.
Yes, which one was that? He came home. Was it Fog Cloud? Fog Cloud.
Yes, it was Fog Cloud.
He was so impressive with that. He did it in my bedroom. I am beyond impressed.
Yeah, he actually was one of the people that inspired me to actually go for tutoring. And he actually takes out a business card of his own. He hasn't been able to see this yet. I was going to surprise him the next time I saw him, but he then uses Mage Hand to like float over the card and let me get it up. Okay, it's not in the folder that I wanted it to be.
Oh,
there it is. Yeah, at first she sees this plain white card with like gold trim in the edge. It says Scribbles Magical Tutoring. However, she would quickly notice like when it flickers in the light, it like tilts and she sees like shining like magical bubbles.
Oh, that's cool.
You can both roll insight if you like.
Sure.
14.
Selli, car. She's too on edge.
That does make sense. There is still that tautness to Lynn, that she is still holding her axe on her lap, and there is still the slightly bristled, frayed edge to her sketch of, if anyone makes a move, I will react to defend my family. But you do see, Scribbles, you do see as that's going on, there is just like a slight twitch of her mouth into a smile, and you do see what's underneath the curtains of this person before you. That yeah, she likes that. That's soft, and you're Rye's friend, and she can't do something to you now because you're her son's friend, and she's already started liking you on that front. You're probably gonna leave with a pot of chili if everything goes well, because she can't stay mad at a friend of Rye.
Scribbles.
Selli's still on thin ice.
Scribbles smile is like, yeah, I heard that you know some magic too.
Ah, yes. Bard magic. I'm learning in Halloween Town and from Hadrian, the guy in the other room, my cousin.
Don't
It's like-
use my full name, he calls from the other room.
Tell me what to do, Buzzbrain!
And then there's some
Scribbles.
terse giant that comes back out.
Scribble smile, I see. So, I see. If you ever say, you have my card now, has my information. I say I can teach you a few new things too if you ever have the time. You definitely say this. I hate to change the subject, but is this a loci?
Lynn looks up at that, and there is actually just like this trill of a hum of network's been recognized. And she just was, yes. People don't normally pick up on that straight away.
Gonna do a Arcana for Selli. Maybe she's heard of a loci with a 13, but she's just not saying anything. Head tilt to the
Scribbles
side.
nod.
Question mark.
I'm very magically attuned, though I found your say something didn't he like looks at Scratch. I was just surprised. Like I noticed it almost right away, but then they did something that it wasn't supposed to happen. That maybe I could talk to you later about. Your do they have a name first? I say.
First of all, she, her, they, them.
Okay.
Second of all, long name. Network-Sweetheart-Nettle Maggie Stagehand at your service, and I'm not going to say pecking in an introduction, your mother pecker, and there is just a hummed laughter.
Scribble is like, well, Network was able to touch Scratch. That's not supposed to happen. Scratch. Scratch looks back at him. Scratch is, in essence, an awakened spellbook, which I have learned to manifest into the form you see here. Physical objects, a hand, a book, or anything other magical, supposed to pass right through them. But Network was able to actually touch Scratch.
I'm gonna roll Arcana to see how well Lynn's picking up on all of this.
It's not bad.
22!
Not bad at
Okay.
all.
There is like Lynn doesn't get magic straight off the bat normally, but she is for once nodding along, and you can kind of see her under her breath, like relating and discarding things as you're saying stuff, and she goes, eh. Well, sweetheart is a very stubborn building sometimes. I heard that. But yeah, if you like, you can come on by at another point. We can hash this out in the future, examine things on this front. If you're saying this is a nigh on impossibility, yeah, we can work something out on that front, see how far that extends. I mean, for better and for caution. It's always good to know the parameters of a situation before you go diving in.
Scribbles nod. Yes. I've had Scratch all my life. Again, this is just an outlier that I have never seen before, even with other beings like him. I come from University City, from the University of UPA, back in UPA, but I've met other scribes wizards like me. I mean, Scratch has always been an odd one. He's had more intelligence and a little bit more spirit than any of the other awakened spellbooks. But this is the first time I have ever felt, and he's ever felt, someone else being able to touch him, at least other than me, but that's because he is a part of me. I made him, technically.
Right. Hey, Scribble, would you like to roll me another insight?
Yes.
I will give you advantage on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was a 7. That was an 8. Okay, 10. 10, you get something vague. As you're saying, Scratch is a part of you, that sort of thing, you do get Lynn's interest at that. And you don't get why, but you do just see her put a hand, like, center of her chest. Her left hand just goes up for a moment. And the breeze around the room seems to focus on her a little more for a second. She goes, I see. Alright. After all's said and done, you and I make an appointment. We'll hash this out a little more, because I'll admit I'm intrigued.
Certainly, I am too. And thank you.
I'll do some more reading. Hey, Rye! How's the tea coming, kiddo?
Coming! And there's this sort of,
Yeah.
just this jostle of a tray full of teacups. They're heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hang on, let me help. And there is, like, this hand movement from Lynn. And she casts Unseen Servant.
Oh, nice. Yeah, even Scratch is like relaxed a little bit more. And he's back. He's not red or anything. Like, all the redness has gone from him. He's just now like sitting on Lynn's desk. A little bit more relaxed, but still like kind of watching them still.
Lynn looks down, gives a little nod, a tip of her hat, just, And then she just goes back to watching the other two, because, like, yeah, she's still, in all things considered, she's just like, I respect you, you respect me, we will just stay in this little stalemate. I'm still going to mess with that picnic if she does anything.
And she's just sitting there. Selli is still, like, on edge.
She's just sitting here, man. She's just sitting here.
She is just sitting here, but, like, she understands at the same time. But she's glad that Ra is okay, but yeah, she really wasn't expecting to have somebody charge at her with an axe when she walked in the door. Oh heck!
Honestly, I'm really happy. I did not know that wisdom save would work or not.
Oh dear! And I'm gonna say that accompanied by the unseen servant carrying the tray of teacups, Rai sort of plods down the stairs and into the room, and he just sort of does this sort of sweeping glance around. It's like, okay, everything is still in order, good. And he'll just go over and take Lynn's teacup and hand it to her, and then hand one to Scribbles and hand one to Selli, and it's very, very slow. And Selli very slowly accepts it and takes it. And then he just sort of backs up from her a little.
There is, as Rye's handing out the cups, it's just Lynn gives a nod to Rye because that is her son. She's wonderful. And Scribble gets a cup and she nods at him, and then she's just openly just like staring at Selli, just like, try anything. Try anything, I dare you.
And she just sort of curls around her teacup a little bit. Rye goes over to the side office, gives Haddy his tea, and then comes back.
Yeah, to say Scribbles even scoots a little bit closer to Selli as she like curls up against herself, as he's holding the teacup, but he sort of just rubs against her a little bit more in a comforting motion. Just to remind her, hey, it's okay, I'm still here.
And Selli's just watching Rye as he comes back, and then he just sort of looks around and says, so... what's happening now?
That is an excellent question, Rai, which does actually bring us on to the main topic of conversation of everything's fine, everything, well, here, everything has been resolved. We had the incident that you were both made aware of, but that has passed. We're on to the healing stages again, and I assure you that Rai was never harmed during all of, well, mostly unharmed, right? You're doing okay, kiddo?
I'm fine.
Good. But, other than that, I'm not sure what we can provide for you.
Selli sort of takes a moment and then looks at Rye and then looks at Lynn. I wanted to be sure that Rye, and Rye sort of perks up as she says his chosen name, was all right. I don't have any business really in being in his life anymore, and I understand that, but I was still worried. But it is good to see how well you seem. You look so happy and grown up. It's everything I could have wished for you. And he sort of blushes a little bit and rubs the back of his head.
Yeah, Scribble, like, it's easy to show on his face. Like, he's now piqued in curiosity of, like, the words that she has chosen.
Mm.
But he like sips on his tea for right now. But you could definitely, he's very polite. He's trying to be polite, but trying to like think of how this could naturally come in conversation.
Yeah. And Selli gives Raya a smile and then turns back to Lynn. I completely understand if I'm not welcome. So if you wish for me to go, I can. But I want to assure you I'm not here for anything to do with what happened.
There is a long pause of Lynn surveying Selli on this front. She's got her tea, she has taken a sip of it, and she does just watch this. She's watched this interaction, seen Ryan, then she just goes, she takes a very deep, measured breath, and then she goes, the incident before was a very difficult circumstance for everyone. What your father did was something I'm probably never going to forgive in my lifetime, and the conclusions I've been able to make about what he's doing and every other relationship to that is sour at best. You, however, are your own toon. The whole sins of the father thing doesn't exactly wash here. So, I am willing to make a clean slate with you. However, I do have a few questions for you about certain things that have happened around Toontown recently.
I'll give whatever help I can.
Alright. First of all, when you came here, did you come alone?
Well, no, I came with Scribbles.
No one else?
No.
Scribbles nods. Yeah, we say I didn't see anyone either. If that puts your mind at ease.
Right, so you see, and she has just like holding her teacup out. She's crossed her legs and she's now like leaning back on the desk slightly. She just goes, you see, you're not the only Pokemani in the area at the moment. So, do you have any friends who would follow you specifically or that sort of thing?
Selli is distinctly frowning. No. No, I can't say that I do.
Right, so
It's very unusual for there to be other Pokemani off the island.
Yeah, that's what you told me when we first met on the island.
mm-hmm. Right, because you see, when I had my informants going out, well, let's just say we did actually know you were in the area before you came here, Ms. Selli.
What? Right pipes up. You knew she was here?
To a marginal extent, I was looking out for someone else. What was the name of... Dan Thews told you about someone.
Oh,
Do you remember their name? I'm admitting, and she does just like slip into network speech. Forgotten name at moment. Slightly stressed. Sorry, son of mine.
he pauses for a second. Cassell? Is what
Cassell.
Mr. Krieger said. And
Okay.
I'm gonna roll
And
these
Lynn
again.
does just turn back after a nod and just go, does the name Cassell ring any bells, Ms. Selli?
Let's roll a history, find out. That's a dirty
Ooh.
20. There is a moment, and she frowns. I do know that name. I don't know him personally, but I believe... Yes, I've seen him at the hall a few times. More than a few. If I'm not mistaken, he is a warlock of Umbicant.
Unbekannte. I don't recognize that god.
Yes, and I'm gonna have her roll her Hemispace real quick. Nope, not 20. 10. It's not a 1. She reaches into the pocket of her dress and she pulls out a golden pendant. And Lynn, you've seen a very similar one, but this one has a different symbol on it. This is... He is a god of writing and of knowledge, and the Hall of Origin is both a church and a library. And this sort of symbol is indicative of his influence.
Mm-hmm.
And Rye's sort of just looking at it, and he's got his head tilted to one side.
Does it in any way influence the tune, or is it more of a symbolistic thing?
This particular item, I've never been able to detect magic from them. They're said to give Umbicant's blessing. They're given out at the motherhood when new Pokemani are born. But as for other icons of his, I couldn't say. I am a cleric of his, but to be a warlock, you have to have a very different relationship with the deity.
There are lots of different ways of relating to the gods and to the divine. By the weave. Alright. And this Cassell. You've said you've seen them before. Have you ever seen them with your father?
No.
Right. Okay. I'll look into this some more because let's just say I've got to have a chat with them at some stage. But there have been other sightings of Pokemani around causing problems for some folks. I've seen it in other cases unrelated to mine, but let's just say your people are causing a bit of a fuss here every now and then, which might cause a problem in the future.
Do you want to roll an insight? Both of you are welcome to.
Lynn is Tokyo drifting on her different factors. 22!
Nice. Do you want to roll one for Scribbles, Winona?
Yes, I'll do that.
15.
All right.
Nice. So, Lynn, you are very good at reading expressions on the faces of a Pokemani because Rye is your son. So even though she doesn't have that color changing or anything, you can tell very easily she is worried, confused, distressed, and a little, like, she's quite concerned. Like, to have now know that there are other Pokemani, A, not on the island of Johtos, and B, causing problems. That's not how things should be. She's just, no, I don't like that at all. It's not angry, but it's sort of the annoyed bit of concerned, if that makes sense.
Indeed. Lynn's nodding at that, and she goes, there's been quietness on most of those factors. The main two Pokemani I could dig up at the moment was yourself and Cassill. And I will admit, hand up here, and she does, like, raise her blue-wrapped hand up in the air. She goes, I presumed you were both here in relation to your father. So I was... Well, let's just say Cassell's not off the hook, but you do seem to be cleaner than most. So I'll do some more digging on a few fronts, see what I can gather up, but seeing as it's not a diplomatic thing, seems a bit easier.
She nods at that. I know you do not have many reasons to trust me, but if my magic can be of any help, all you need to do is say the word.
It is greatly appreciated. Your insight, if you come to any conclusions, if you figure anything out or hear of anything, you can always write a letter here. And at this point, Lynn has taken the axe that was across her lap, and she's, like, resting the head of it against the floor. And she's just, like, her hands on the top of the pommel, but more as a balance thing than anything else. She's slowly lowering her guard to a small extent. And she just gives a nod.
And if I could be any help in all this, I'll lend my services too. I'm pretty good at research, and if there's something you need me to do that's, I don't know, a little bit that needs to be a little bit more secretive, I'm definitely, again, willing to do my services.
Oh, kid. Wait, you're not a kid. You're older than me, I think. But don't worry.
28.
You're older than me, so now you're a mother picker. Congratulations. Welcome to the Informant Network. But I've got people working in the background. Rai, you know Jeeves. Jeeves is doing a bit of a research for me, as well as a couple of other folks. We're keeping us on top of things as we can. It's... The crime lull lasts a week. Apparently, it decided after that week, he who lets cause some mysterious chaos. So saith the pick and plot. But...
You don't have to tell me about plot. I hear enough of it from Barry. And he sips his tea.
Okay, Lynn's head has snapped up. Her eyes are wide, and she goes, "The plot's real!"
Oh, don't get me started.
Oh, I'm getting you started. I'm getting it. Sweetheart, we're getting another board. Okay, we are building the board again. And there is Haddy might want to make a strength save. Could Hadrian politely make a strength save from the other room?
Oh, jeez. Okay. Haddy, where's your shit? What's your strength there? Oh, yeah. Abysmal. Okay.
Oh.
Nat 20! Thank you, Buzzbrain! Great!
Okay. Hadrian, you hear this excited yelling about the plot, and there is just kind of this exasperated hum from Network, and then there is a thump, and there are like 2 more boards in the room with you. You are pressed to the wall, you are safe. You get the feeling that this room, which had 3 boards in it before, now has another 2 in it, and there is just like this slowly growing form of threads in the air. It's just like, yep, okay, no, that's a lot.
Oh, bloody pick. Oh, here we go again.
Hey! But Lynn is just like that kind of manic, I have got something, I am not letting this go ever again. And yeah, right, you're probably going to have to wrestle your mum to bed for the next week.
Yeah, Scribbles sighs. I don't know if it's a divination wizard thing or a fortune-telling thing, but all I know is that he knows that when things need to happen at a certain time, they need to happen at a certain time. Reason why that you didn't see the both of us on the first night that I got that business card, when the business card, well, did its thing.
Yeah.
He had to wrestle me down to do this. And this isn't the first time. That's how I met Selli. He detected a magical surge in Johtos, and, well, he led me to her.
Do you want to roll an insight on Rye?
All of us, or
Hey, everybody's welcome. Everyone is welcome to.
19?
Yeah, Ted.
I'll roll one for Selli too. Why not? 22.
22.
All right, cool. So Scribbles, as most of you get sort of out of Rye, is this feeling he knows something about that, but Lynn and Selli both pick up that, oh yeah, the magic surge, that was me, wasn't it? Yeah, that.
Yeah, Scribbles, Z says, again, I don't want... I want to ask about that, but I know that this may be a topic that you may not be comfortable with. I still don't even know the relationship between you and her. Though I'm not very sure if it's in my place to ask.
The two of them look at each other, and then Rye looks at Lynn, and I'm going to roll off that 19. He's sort of silently asking for her opinion. It's like, do I say anything?
Lynn's looking back in... It's actually a warm look of it's if you want to say... It's that very much that mental, if you want to say something, go ahead. If you want to sweep this under the rug, I will say there's no here whatsoever. It's whatever you want. She looks out for her son.
Rye is very much of the opinion that sweeping it under the rug is going to be a bit hard given all the things that Selli has already said. And he...
Surprise what you can sweep under the rug. You can surprise. Look at Lynn. Swept an entire condition of her under the rug for 5 years.
Rye just sort of scratches at his cheek a little bit and then looks at Scribbles. I don't mind if you know, but you can keep it to yourself if that's okay.
Of course, and of course I'll keep it confidential.
Selli's my sister.
You know that face where it all makes sense now, and he does little prayer hands. He's just he's connecting the dots. He's connecting so many dots. Probably a similar look that Lynn gets sometimes when she's like, I got it.
Yes, exactly.
And Selli's just sort of fiddling with her fingers a little bit. We have the same father, and he was not very kind to Rye.
Understatement of the century.
And Scribbles looks at her. It's he nods.
This is where his family is now, so it's better. It's a lot better.
Scribbles gives another nod. I see. He wants to say something, but he's just not very sure if it's appropriate right now. He does yeah, he just quiet. He's I can see that. I understand. Gives me a little more context of, we can talk about it later. But does allow me to make definitely more connections, and yeah.
We would ask that this not get back to your father. We are aware that he knows of this place, but definitely we would like to keep him as far out of the picture as possible again. we don't want him coming back.
Selli nods at that. I can't see why he would. Rai's magic did what it was he wanted. The island is... it is vibrant, full of life, which is what he wanted. So he's not no reason to come back to the mainland. He said it was dreadful when he came.
You'd be surprised what anyone would do. Whims of people like him. They are unpredictable in some ways and very predictable in others.
Scribbles,
She nods at that.
Scribbles nods too.
On the plus side, if he ever comes by again, he is getting an axe to the face, so... But is there anything else you wish to discuss? Anything you wish to do? I mean, Pick and Hick, you guys haven't talked in a while, and she is just like looking at Rye of... If Rye looks as though he's having enough, she will just like go, right, okay, tea time's over, and bustle people out. But at the same time, she's not going to deny him family time.
Yeah.
If he wants it, she's not going to deny her son time to interact with people.
Rai is looking a little, like, conflicted. I think is the best way to put it. Like, wasn't expecting to see Selli ever again, and she's here. It's like, what do? Selli, on the other hand, knows exactly what she wants to do. And she puts her teacup down and then stands up from the couch and takes a few steps to close the gap between her and Rai. And there is a height difference. Like, Selli's 5 feet and Rai is 3'5".
God almighty. 3'5". Honestly, you can see what eating your veggies and drinking your milk does.
And she just sort of looks down at him, and then she gets down onto her knees in front of him and puts her hands out. We didn't really get a goodbye. You were unconscious when you left. Would one last hug be alright? And I'm going to do him a whiz save real quick to see how well he can resist a hug, because he likes hugs. Oh, okay, that's a 15. So it's not... He sort of scooches forward a little bit, and then he looks at Scribbles, and he looks at Lynn, and then back at Selli, and then back at Lynn, and he's like, is this okay? And he scooches forward a little bit more.
There is a very warm smile from Lynn, which earlier she was glacially cold in a sense, like teeth bared, ready to do stuff. Now that's his mum. And she's still frayed fur, but she is soft, and she just gives like a little nod of, go on, you little picnic. You want to do it? Do it. Squeeze her to death.
He does brighten up a bit at that, and his eye is no longer any grey at all, and he just accepts that hug. So you just got these two siblings just having this really nice hug.
Lynn, do you want to make an insight on Scribbles?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. That is a 10.
Okay, I can't give you much of a 10, but I think melancholy would probably be the best word, as she, like, sees, like, Scribbles watch them two hug.
She's making a note of that. God, this is another person with a slightly tragic backstory, isn't it? Oh, God!
You have no idea.
You just keep finding them, Lynn. Gee, you have a talent there.
Lynn is mentally going, right, okay, conspiracy board 84. Fine. He's gonna get to 100 by the end of the year at this point. She's just resigned herself to this.
Jesus, it was only like 64 at blind bet. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, honey, we hit the 70s a while back. No.
Oh, bless.
She might shuffle about on which ones she's using. She does still go back to the early numbers, but no, she's got a lot, and she's now got even more for the conspiracy board for the plot. God, this monkey is paranoid and off the wall. Please.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So Selli and Rye enjoyed this very. It is a goodbye hug. It is absolutely a goodbye hug. And then Selli is the one who lets go first, and she gives Rye a little pat on the head before she stands up. I'm so glad you're safe and happy here. It's more than I could ever have wished for. You stay safe, okay? I'll do my best, Selli. Are you staying in town for a bit? And people are welcome to roll an insight on Selli now.
Mm-hmm.
You bet your ass we are.
Ooh, 14. All right.
No, that's
Oh, I know. That's my. I say that's your roll. Never mind.
Yeah, then got the 14. Which again tracks quite nicely. So Selli is definitely planning on staying, but she just sort of this half glance towards Scribbles, and then she sort of straightens a little bit, and I'm not going anywhere for a while, but I don't expect you to spend time with me. You've got your life here.
And Scribbles sort of adds that, even though he probably doesn't get the full thing, he's like, and honestly, she can stay as long as she wants.
Aww. That's Whis going, aww, they're so cute.
I will. People can roll insight on Lynn if they.
Sure.
All right. Oh, nice.
Okay. Right. And Selli, where's yours? Oh, they have the same insight. 18.
There is a look that comes over Lynn's face for a moment as she debates something. And she does just look off to the wall of love for a moment. And Rye, you see the look on Lynn's face of she is thinking of certain events that are going to be happening in about a month from now. That's what you can get. The other thing, you guys don't have the full context of everything, but you can tell she is debating saying something. And the fact that she's looking at a certain group, a clustering of people who all seem rather strange. There's a furbolg, there's a skeleton, there are other people who definitely look on a different type of sketch to most people that live in Toontown. She just goes, We will always be available if you need us for anything. I'm not going to say where we are going, but given a little time, the Stagehand's Requiem will be changing location. I'm not going to give the full classification of that, seeing as I don't want someone you are affiliated with. Even if you're not directly talking, are you still in contact with your father? Because
I've sent him one letter since we arrived, but that was only to tell him that we arrived in Toontown safely.
I will admit the circumstances of us leaving have a variety of factors, but we've had enough people blasting down our door or at our step for us to want to get away from Toontown.
She nods at that.
We'll
Scribbles
figure.
says,
Yeah. We'll figure something out if need be, if you wish to contact us, if you wish to contact Rye, and if he is amenable with you contacting him. But I thought I would give you a heads up so you didn't freak out when suddenly building's gone.
almost looks a little bit confused at that. He's just like, he is looking around, like, how was that? You. It's just he's trying to connect the dots are not there. It's just you can't. Basically, his idea is You can't move a loci, can you?
And there's just a look on Lynn's face that Rye distinctly knows is her picking magical bullshit face. Right, Haddy from the other room full on hears the cackle and knows, oh yeah, she's finally got something where she knows more about the magical bullshit. Okay.
Oh dear, oh dear. Great.
Well, if you need anything, I am definitely willing to help. Again, you have my business card, you know how to contact me at least. But totally respect the distance if you don't want me around also.
We'll come back to Toontown. We have ties here, but I will be keeping the location slightly more secretive this time round, for a variety of reasons. But
Yeah.
it's been wonderful making your acquaintance. And good that I didn't steal your kneecap straight off the bat.
Honestly,
Rye is now very pointedly looking at Scribbles' legs.
yeah. Squishy wizard. I'm hoping to eventually change that, but yeah.
If you want to fight, I've heard if you break enough bones, you're stronger. So
Mom, no!
Honestly, I will take my chances with the magical item I'm saving up for. Thank you very much.
Honestly, no one ever wants to go the fun route.
I mean, if you want to practice magical fighting, I'm not against it.
You want me to break your bones?
I mean, if you need practice, again, I'm a tutor, but
Haddy, I'm gonna break a squishy with its bones.
Maybe
right?
definitely at a later date. After the appointment. I'd rather get that out of the way, and then you break my bones.
Yes, of course. I've got a bear I can fight anyway. I'm close to winning against the bear. I will beat that bear at some stage. I will beat Katrina. I swear to the pecking gods. I swear at the pecking gods. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, you get no context on that. This monkey just seems really hyper about tackling a bear and actually winning.
And Rye is just giggling. Selli has just got this expression of, what the hell kind of life does my brother have now? I'm glad he's happy, but what? What?
See, Scribbles, secondhand, has heard, he's heard about the stagehands before. He's just yeah, this checks out. I heard they're a crazy bunch.
Yeah, Lynn is just there is this complete 180 from what you saw earlier of the cold violence glacial detective. This is Manic Monkey Pom Pom the Menace, who is also loves her son, she loves chaos, she loves basically a lot of things, and she loves chili.
So, I will also offer one thing. Once you have moved, if you want to sell the land that this place is originally on, I can put you in contact with some good realty places around here.
That would be useful. I mean, it's not going to have a building on it anymore, but yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much on that front. I'll take care of it in the future.
Oh, no problem at all. I know, running my own, I've known through proxy how businesses follow. My father is a manager, my sister owns her own business, and though I'm currently working out of my apartment myself, I don't have an office building or anything. I just know, I know it can be tough to sell land and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll check up on that later on. But is there anything either of you you wish to go over any further? If not, well, actually, and she does just like lean her head back and hum something to the building, but she is still like keeping an eye on you two if there's anything you guys wish to talk about further.
Selli shakes her head and she's sort of has stood up from where she was on her knees and has brushed off her dress. And she doesn't look like she really wants to... It's equal parts, I don't want to go, but also it's awkward to stay, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Mhm.
This isn't someone Lynn is familiar with. She's glad that Rye's happy with all of this situation, that it's gone good. She is still also on the keeps unsafe.
Mhm.
But there is like this soft clatter noise from upstairs. You get the feeling that an unseen servant has been cast and is being used as Lynn is manipulating her hand.
Scribbles smiles and looks at Rye. Well, I don't particularly have anything, though. I definitely want to do another lesson with you, Mr. Wizard. And he gives a wink.
Rye perks up. How did you know I'm a wizard?
I met Hugh.
Ah, you met Hugh! I knew you'd get along with Hugh. Isn't Hugh cool?
Oh, yes, he is. He's amazing. We met on the street and had a nice. We had some coffee together in the morning. Very nice man.
Oh, good. I'm glad they were feeling all right.
Mhm. Yes.
But no, we'll have to play some magic some more. I can show you all my new spells.
I know. I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to teach you some more too.
And Lady's just like full on beaming at her son now, just like, yes, her son is making connections and good and they're stable and this guy knows Hugh. And she's just like, yep, she's full of love. Like, Scribble, congratulations. You have officially become acquaintance and slight family friend. You've got the Lynn approval. Your kneecaps are safe.
Oh my, yes. I love it.
Oh,
he is safe.
Lynn does just glance at the time and go, I'm not sure if you two have any other business to attend to today, but it's been... Well, I would actually say it's been a pleasure meeting you. It's been enlightening information all around. We seem to have got some good insight out of things. I've got a few leads I'll be chasing up on with my informant network.
Scribbles nod. Yes, it has been a rough start, but I'm glad it turned out all right.
I've had rougher starts with better friends. I mean, me and Danthews, we certainly had a interesting introduction. But anyway, if there's anything any of you need in the future, feel free to pop on by. If you've got any concerns, letters do normally land our way, even if you don't know the address. People know the Stagehand's Requiem. You will find it one way or another. But as you're going, I might as well give you something, because it's rude to leave guests without food. And there is just like this ka-clunk, ka-clunk, ka-clunk of something. It almost sounds like a marionette coming down the stairs as the unseen servant just tromps down. There is a pot of chili just floating in the air.
No, Lynn, I say you don't have to. No.
No, it's too late. Chili's in motion. Look, the chili is flying in. Would you deny the flying chili?
It's really good chili, Scribbles.
I have no doubt no chili, but you really don't have to.
No, it's too late. Flying chili.
You're not going to be able to convince her otherwise. Just take it. I'll come by and get the Tupperware container from you later, okay?
All right.
Yeah, we do tend to run out of that, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and she does just like the pot does come. Whoever's taking it out of the two of them, would you like to make a strength save?
I'm not very sure who would be technically better. Scribbles is Scribbles is gonna try. Let's see how bad this is. That tracks.
All right. There is just like, okay, it's a floating thing, a floating container a pot of chili. It's like the Tupperware, really nice pot of it, and it's just like you hold out your arms, just like, oh yeah, it's chili, and there is so much chili in this thing.
It's heavy.
Like you were gonna have enough for everyone in your apartment for a couple of days. You get the feeling that Lynn makes this stuff, and she makes it in bulk, in good bulk. It's really quality, good stuff. Same time. Whew.
Yeah, Scribbles is just like, oh, okay, let's try this. Chili is probably not that heavy. Oh dear God! And he does his best not to let it spill onto the floor.
Quick, shove it in your hammer space.
It's got a sealed lid. It's very secure. You get the feeling that people probably have this reaction enough that Lynn has just gone, okay, we just pat the lid nice down and vacuum seal it. But you can just see now she is just like laughing at you inside. There is mirth in her eyes. There is chaos.
Oh,
all right,
dear.
all right. I'll just put this in my hammer space, and this means I'll have to. Do I still have some left? I think I still have some jarred peaches and pears and stuff in the apartment still. It's a little bit too. No, it's around applesauce. No, I could probably make some applesauce too if you prefer it better.
I am gonna use it and I'm gonna turn it into a pie, and then you're gonna have a spontaneous pie on your windowsill.
I mean, I can make apple pie filling, of course, if you prefer that. To say,
there are many options. I like we like all options in this house. I mean, pie can be many different flavors. We just love it. But don't worry, I know where you live. I'll be able to get stuff from you.
Yeah. Say, I make my own stuff too, so I'll probably be sending you once we have our meeting. I'll make sure to bring some jarred stuff that I have made.
And with that, I guess the Scribbles and Selli are heading to the door for some farewells. Eh?
Yeah.
Lynn leaves her axe at the desk, which I can see is very much a thing that Lynn doesn't do nowadays, but she does seem just like relaxed on that front. She is escorting them to the door, but it isn't in the second you're out the door, I'm gonna threaten you again.
Yeah, even Scratch has moved back to Scribbles' shoulder. He's definitely very much more relaxed and happy. He even signs Network as he leaves the apartment. Scribbles like, bye Network. Hopefully I'll see you soon.
And there is another attempt to do a breeze. Shall I roll a percentile to see if they manage to...
Yeah, with advantage though.
Okay. 69. Nice.
That is a memorable number.
Yeah, no, I don't think it manages this time, but
not this time.
There is a warm breeze though. It's not quite a hug, but it is just like this loose wrap around Scratch, around Scribbles, and even around Selli.
Aww.
Yeah. Scratch glows a little bit yellow. It's not like a golden yellow, it's more of a highlighter yellow. But he can tell that he's happy.
No.
And I will say that as they've made their goodbyes, as Scribbles and Selli are walking back down the street, do you want to do an insight on Selli for me? 14?
All right.
That'll do. So you get a little while down the street, and then you notice that Selli's got both her hands clasped over her chest, and she's crying a little bit. But it seems like crying out of relief more than grief.
Are you all right, Selli? As he gets closer to her.
I'm just so glad he's all right.
I can understand. After something like that, I'd be worried about my sister too.
And she nods and she just wipes the tears off her cheek and then leans into him a little bit as they walk.
Scribbles smiles as he wraps an arm around Selli's shoulder. Has been a long day, but maybe we can take a little stroll?
I'd like that.
let's go down to the Mississippi River. There's a nice little path that goes along there. I'll show you some more sights.
She nods, and while it was a bit tense, she's happy now.
Yeah.
Aww. And within Network, it's just like Rye's gonna get fussed over, given a hug. Haddy's gonna be brought into all of it. Just everything's soft and peaceful. Everyone came out of this happy.
There's going to be just this long moment where it's all nice. And then, just before the fade to black, Bom Bom, you said you got a message from Uncle Organ?
Oh, Peck, you're right! Dang it, yeah.
Hold the phone. I think we need to have a chat before you call him back.
Oh, Mother Picker. And, yeah.
Scene ends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Indeed.
Oh. Well, thank you very much for playing with me, guys. This has been fun.
Yes, this has been very fun.
Damn.
Oh, I love this.
This ended a lot happy. Like, seriously, Lynn went through her full transition of many emotions and didn't actually go up many stress levels. Like, she got to 3 at one point, but back down to 2 and then 1. It's very pleasing, honestly.
That's what
That's
we like.
good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh dear, oh dear. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Thank you everyone for listening. This has been a wonderful time. There's been a lot of people in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.